Assalamu alaikum students. Today our topic is concept of philosophy. So today we are going to understand what actually the philosophy is. The word philosophy has been derived from two Greek words. Phileo and Sophia. The meaning of phileo is love, and the meaning of Sophia is wisdom. So if we will see the derivative or etymological meaning of the word philosophy, it is love of wisdom. Now, what is the wisdom? First of all, what is love? Love is affinity or affection towards a thing. But the wisdom is to gain insight into the truth behind any fact, and to gain the real sense behind any appearance, to think logically, to think analytically, to think in a positive way, to think in an optimistic way, to verify the knowledge, to see the validity of knowledge, to see that the thing I know, is it true or is it untrue? What is right and wrong? The answers comes from your wisdom. What part you have to follow? Suppose if you have to go to any destination, which is the shortest way, you have to choose. When you choose the shortest way, it is outcome of your wisdom. So the derivative meaning of the philosophy is love of wisdom. Various philosophers have defined it in different ways. According to Kant, philosophy is science and criticism of cognition. What does it mean that philosophy is the science and criticism of cognition? It means that the philosophy verifies various things. It raises questions of various things which we see in this world through our eyes. There are so many things in our life. Like we have values, like we have knowledge, like we want to know what is reality. Reality of what? Reality of universe, reality of our creation, reality of God, reality of angels, reality of various things in the universe like stars, galaxies, planets. Where from the answer comes? On science as well as philosophy gives us the answers. Suppose if we will think what's our existence, so science will give us the answer of the human body, of the organs, but science sometimes fails to give us answers what happened to us after death. Here comes the role of the philosophy. Different philosophy, different religions gives answers to this. What happened to a body after the death, when death occurs to a person? When we study a reality of the universe, then we are studying metaphysics. What is metaphysics? When we study reality. And what is this metaphysics? It is a branch of philosophy. That means we study existence. We study the nature of this, whether it has been created in the universe from one thing, from two things, or from various things. What is God? What are the powers of God? What is heaven? What is hell? So everything, the answers of these questions come from the philosophy, and that branch of the philosophy is called metaphysics. That means we are once again going towards this wisdom, where we use our brain in order to give answer to these questions, because these questions are very valuable questions. If we will not get answer to these questions, what's our existence, a person may get astray. He may be lost in this world. So another thing is knowledge. We have various types of knowledge. As Kant says that science and criticism of cognition. Cognition of what? Criticism of what? Study of what? It is the study of knowledge. Now, where from the knowledge come? This is a very important question. Is that knowledge which we today are having, is this true? Is this untrue? What are the methods of studying this knowledge? What are the types of knowledge? So which thing gives us the answer? Once again, this philosophy is science and criticism of cognition. It comes from philosophy. So the branch of the philosophy which studies the knowledge is called epistemology. Means it studies knowledge. So we are having various types of knowledge. Like we are having the highest form of knowledge which is present in the form of our religious scriptures. Like we are having the Quran. And what is the knowledge which is in the Quran? That knowledge is called a revealer knowledge. That is the first type of knowledge, and that is very authentic knowledge. Now, where from this knowledge comes? That knowledge comes through the revelation. Whenever any kind of revelation comes to the messenger, and that type of knowledge is called a revealer knowledge, and that's in Quran. Muslims say it's in Quran. Now, another type of knowledge is intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge. What is intuitive knowledge? Intuitive knowledge comes from the inner of a person, and it has been also found that it's very valid knowledge. As we have various poets have remained in the world, they have contributed to this field of knowledge. What is that type of knowledge? That type of knowledge is intuitive knowledge. There is also further types of knowledge. That knowledge which we gain through the experiments. That is rational knowledge. That we gain through the experience. That is experiential knowledge. So various types of knowledge. So how here we have to mention that which gives us the answer to this knowledge. Which type of knowledge is true? What is the hierarchy of knowledge? It's once again philosophy. Philosophy once again gives us the answers of this knowledge. Now, how we have to live? What are values? Values are the things which satisfy our needs. Which thing we have to value? In our life, we are facing different things, and we value the things accordingly. Now, which teaches us that you have to value a thing, a particular thing? It is once again philosophy comes in the way. So when philosophy comes in the way, when it studies values, it is called axiology. Axiology is the study of values. Values means which thing is ethically sound, which thing will satisfy the needs of a society. So if we look upon these things, metaphysics, epistemology, and values, it covers almost everything in this universe. Suppose if we have to raise the questions about the universe, we will go through the metaphysics. If we have to raise the questions of the knowledge which is present in this world, we will go through the epistemology. If we will raise the questions of our values, standards, norms, we will go through the axiology. So in a broader sense, we can say philosophy gives us a total way of life. It makes us to understand total way of life. As per the Hindu literature, philosophy has been given the name darshan. What is the darshan? It's the guide. It is a guide which guides us throughout the entire process of our life. So, on conclusion, we can say that philosophy is love of wisdom. It guides us. It guides us how to live. It gives answers to the various things like what is reality, what is God, what's our existence, what is the validity of the knowledge, which kind of values you should have. As Aristotle have once said that everybody follows a philosophy, whether he is aware of it or not. So we are everybody among us is following a philosophy. Yes, definitely we are following a philosophy, because when we go towards any kind of knowledge, what we are doing, we are understanding knowledge by the thoughts of various philosophers which have been given time by time. Then we understand by our own mind. We get impressed. So that means we are following our own philosophy. We sometimes seek to gain the answers of the reality of the world through our own mind. That means we are using philosophy. Sometimes we are valuing a thing at a particular place, at other place we are not valuing that thing. That means we are going through a philosophy. That means it is a way of life. It's a wisdom. It means us to raise the questions. The day when we begin to raise the questions, we become philosophers. But the questions should be logical. The questions should be relevant to the situation. The questions should not be irrelevant. The questions should be confined to these things. The questions should be of this reality, of the knowledge, of the values. When we raise the questions about these things, then we become philosophers. I find you have understood the concept of philosophy. In next lecture, we will see its relationship with education. Thanks.